There are shows with psychics,
And there are shows with doctors.
but there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
And street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight,
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit.
in tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
Require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic.
and the doc. And it starts now. Dr. Pat, we are on the air again, and it is April 21st. You know, we got a really great show. And the thing is, tomorrow is Earth Day, and that's a very important day to honor Mother Earth. I mean, we need to be good to our mother, don't we, Dr. Pat?
I'm just going to be good to Greta. I just got her in the background because this is a poster in the background of her in 2021. So, I can't wait to see what she's done. For those of you, that's Greta Thunberg, okay? If you don't know who she is, I want to be Greta when I grow up. That's just me, though. But part of this is really looking at this young woman who now I think I can say young woman, but I've been watching her since she was teeny weeny teeny, right? And once upon a time, she used to come out and people didn't take her quite seriously, right? But she is a force. And if you see the background here, I am Greta, a force of nature. And that could not be any truer. But what is it about what she has learned and what she has stood for that is so pivotal to where we are today on Earth Day? I wish I could say that I feel so much better about Earth Day and the Earth than I did 10 years ago when I was doing national tours on the whole Go Green Expo, interviewing governors and listen to them who basically they're gone. They're gone. And what have we learned about the Earth and Earth Day in 10 years? Well, we have not learned how to be kind to Mother Earth, Mother Nature. We have not learned that. And I'll tell you, you ever pick a fight with somebody that was like so much bigger than you? Like when you were a kid, maybe? Okay, maybe that wasn't you. I mean, maybe that wasn't you.
Yeah.
Okay, but all right. So you ever do that? Ever do that? Because somewhere in your family lineage, they said you had to stand up for yourself. You ever do that? So
Well,
that's what's happening.
Well,
We're
that's
picking
what
a fight with somebody. Mother Earth is so much bigger than all of us.
Well, that's what I did my entire legal career is I took on entities by far larger than myself. And, Greta, she's a voice, but the thing is, there's been so many other people with credentials that have been explaining to us for years that by the 2020s, Earth would be in a state of crisis. But today, we also celebrate the 96th birthday of Queen Elizabeth II. She's been on the throne of Great Britain for longer than any other monarch. And from all intents and purposes, she looks like she's going strong. And sadly, this is also the anniversary of the death of the legendary rock star Prince. And that's why I'm wearing purple. I know it kind of looks black on screen, but I was wearing purple because I knew Dr. Pat would be doing green for Earth Day. So I think
I got
those two.
multicolor flowers and stuff on today.
Cool. Yeah. So we got a really great show tonight. And, Earth Day celebrates life. And the thing is, it's amazing. Human beings, Dr. Pat, supposedly we're the most intelligent beings in the universe, which, that just means we haven't discovered life on other planets yet. But the thing is, what other intelligent species would destroy the only home they have? We've been using the
Oh,
oceans
wait,
as
let me think.
garbage dumps. Yeah, none. And when there was the lockdown with COVID, biologists noticed in national parks and in other wildlife areas, things started growing more pervasively. Animals started venturing in areas they hadn't been before, and it became very clear that humans need nature a lot more than nature needs humans. And I'm an optimist, and I think that there is hope for humanity if we get with the program now. And the people that are resistant to the notion of climate change simply don't understand natural history. There have been a series of climate changes. Evidence suggests that Antarctica was once tropical. There have also been areas of the Sahara where they found evidence that it too was a lush tropical rainforest at one time. So the climate does change. I've seen evidence of it. When I was in Alaska at the Mendenhall Glacier and I was at the observation point, I was talking to the geologist there. And what's really cool is they take a picture of the glacier every year, and they have pictures for over the last 120 years of the same area, and you can actually see how the glacier has receded over 120 years. And that isn't some crazy liberal left wing or some crazy Scandinavian teenager ranting and raving. This is hard scientific fact. And so people need to understand that, yes, climate change does happen, but by deforesting the planet, by this obsession with fossil fuels, we're making a bad situation worse. So those are my thoughts on Earth Day.
I'm having a moment of silence for all the people that don't believe that we're in the middle of climate change. Because I was just saying, I need to have a moment of silence. I need to have a moment of silence for people that don't believe that we are at historical, if not almost past the point of no return, right? Because even if we were to implement change to save the earth today, let's say everybody across the planet, every government, everybody out there says effective immediately, we're going to do three big things, not like silly things like corporate 50 companies do. No, not like the silly, stupid ass thing. Silly. Whoops, zip. Not like the silly things that they'll say, oh, we'll just cut back on paper. That's a good thing. But then in the meantime, you're dumping all your waste into the river down there, the Yakima River.
Yeah.
Look, this has been something near and dear to my heart for a really long time. And the problem has been that unless you've had a real experience with it, like the people in California. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron Brockovich. Thank you for that deal, because that shed some light, at least for an hour. People had an insight that there was something wrong. But honestly, I grew up in New York and New Jersey, and I remember walking on the Jersey Shore, and Jersey Shore, right? And this was before they cleaned up the Hudson. Just in case that people don't understand, the Hudson was just horrible. Yeah. And there were organizations that came out, Greenpeace and other organizations, and they literally helped clean up the Hudson. And so part of the problem is you're walking on, all of a sudden you step on something and it hurts your foot and you realize it's a hypodermic needle. And then if you have something like that happens to you, you're thinking, oh, what now? But today, in the spirit of Earth Day, and that is in the spirit of Earth Day, we want to make sure we're opening up the phone lines for people to get down to earth. Get down to earth with what they want to do differently in their lives.
Beautiful.
Get down to earth, even though, like Mark, you're not going to be like down to earth too much, but
no, I'm going to be like connecting to the other side, but I got to connect people here on earth with their loved ones in another dimension, which is the other side.
Exactly.
And it's interesting when spirits do talk about things on Earth. They do talk about the way we're treating the planet. It's very, very interesting. And I know there's always going to be people that will never believe this, that will never follow science. And certainly, people have their right to believe that. But perhaps the greatest environmental disaster in human history was the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, which is in Ukraine. And at that time, Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union. And it was believed that the Chernobyl disaster, more than any other single cause, led to the downfall of the Soviet Union. And recently, when Russia invaded, one of the first things they captured was the Chernobyl plant, which is still they said it's going to be radioactive and toxic for a million years. And of course, the Russian commander showed no consideration for the health of their troops. And it's been reported that thousands of Russian troops that were assigned to guard that area are now showing signs of radiation sickness. Now, if that isn't a wake-up call about environmental, and it hasn't just been there, it was 3 Mile Island in this country, it was Fukushima in Japan. And so there are viable alternatives, and there is the technology, and quite frankly, humanity has the brain power to come up with alternative sources from nuclear and from fossil fuels. We can do this. The question is, will the people in positions of power who can facilitate this happening, will they do it?
We have to show them the money. I'm sorry. We have to show them the money.
You've got to show them the money.
You got to show them the money. You got to be able to say, if you come out, and who was it that just came out with an all electric car that actually is affordable? I can't remember which company, so therefore I'm not going to mention which one, but I know Ford has been on the forefront of this for a long time. And especially GM, there's a movie out, The Death of the Electric Car or something it's called. But if they can't see the money, right? If you can't show somebody the money, that's the head of corporations, because all of a sudden what's become more important than humanity is your stock prices. That's what's happened. Stock prices that are so far out of any range of anybody ever even imagining. If the stock drops a half a point because money's going to save the earth, it's like the end of the world.
Right.
And look, we created that as human beings. We created that level of consciousness. Now we got to flip it around. So for those of you out there, we're ready to take your call. This is live calling today. And I think we've got Jacob and William taking a look at Facebook. 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819. Just saying, give us a call. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to hit the phones, Mark. What do you say?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's do it, everybody. William, take us out.
I'll tell you, Dr. Pat, we have some of the coolest music ever on the show. I mean, we do. And, we have the best audience in the world. I mean, we have a loyal audience, and then there's always new people coming and calling in. So, on behalf of Dr. Pat and myself, on behalf of the Psychic and the Doc, I want to thank all of you for taking the time to tune in. And both Dr. Pat and I, we are ardent environmentalists. I normally try to avoid politics, but that's one issue that I don't. I have lived by the ocean, by lagoons. I've spent a lot of my life, my free time, hiking in forests and then in tropical rainforests, in mountains. And, once it's gone, it's gone. And it is our job as custodians of this planet to do our best to keep our environment healthy for our children, grandchildren, and all the generations yet to come.
Yeah. The bottom line is there was a report that came out in February, the new IPCC report that came out. And another alarming bell, right? So what's the other alarming bell? The other alarming bell is the realization of, methane producing dams, failing infrastructure, rivers that should never run dry. Hello, what? The Colorado? Really?
Yeah.
What's that doing? And then the opposite is disastrous floods. So as you walk into this next day and Earth Day, there's always a burning question for people, Mark. And the burning question is, it's too big for me to tackle. It's too big for me to tackle. I got to tell you, when I stepped on that hypodermic needle walking that Jersey Shore, you couldn't stop me from doing something. You just couldn't stop me from working with those organizations. And I knew nothing about any of this. I didn't care to know about it. I just knew we had to do something. And that's what today's show is about, and the show's about. For those of you out there, it is Earth Day. Love the earth tomorrow. Love it. Just love it. I know we're talking about some very factual yet disastrous things, but that doesn't stop you from loving the earth every day of your life. Right, Mark?
Absolutely. I've always been a big fan of David Attenborough and Sir David Attenborough, and he's a major environmentalist. And he was talking about space travel, and he goes, it's really fascinating about the idea that, maybe in the next decade or so, or 20, or two, we could go to Mars. He said, but where do you really want to live? Because you want to live on a barren chunk of frozen rock like Mars? He goes, Earth. He goes, what's more beautiful than Earth? It was really nice to hear him put it just like that.
Yeah. Our fascination with Mars, especially in our pop culture, and especially in what we're seeing in television and so forth, our fascination for these other planets. If you want to get a realistic look, if anybody's out there wondering, what can I watch to really get watch the TV series that they did not renew. I'm getting after them for this. It's called The Expanse. And it's a fabulous, fabulous story of human behavior, but they give you a picture of Mars and the belt that is not glorified. It's not the Martian movie where he comes back. It's a very different view. And the Earth, we're so blessed to have it. Right, Mark?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we've got some callers too.
We do. Yeah, let's go to the phone lines. Who do we have?
Well, waiting for you, we have Yolanda from New Jersey.
All right. Thank you,
All
William.
right.
Yeah, this is Yolanda.
Hey, you're live on The Psychic and the Doc. How can we help you?
Hi, Dr. Pat. Hi, Mark. Hope you're all doing good.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
Good. Good. I had something. I'm going to go back to December on Christmas Eve. My daughter and I were sitting in our living room. The fireplace was going. We had some nice tunes. And then I had to run upstairs first. At the top of our landing, it was ice cold. I checked the other bedrooms, and the bedrooms were very comfortable. But I didn't say anything, so I came downstairs. And then my daughter went upstairs. And she felt it. When she came downstairs, she sat on the couch and she said to me, we have a visitor or visitors. She goes, did you feel the ice cold on the top of the stairs? And I said, yeah. And she said out loud, you're scaring me. You're scaring us. So I said, well, thank you for your visit. We do appreciate it. And we hope that you like the house decorated. But it is kind of scary. If you want to come to us in a dream. And it took about 10 minutes for that coldness actually to go away. But I didn't know who it was. And it's been with me since.
Well, first off, I'm really glad that you brought that up because, see, in spirit communication and in paranormal investigations, we receive physiological sensations when we're encountering spirits. In my book, The Afterlife Frequency, I introduced the concept of the electromagnetic soul, which explains that what we really are is a soul, pure consciousness, which is eternal electromagnetic energy. And so when people encounter souls, they get the physiological response of cold chills, sometimes tingles, which is an electromagnetic response. So the spirit's energy field is interfacing with ours, and we get this physiological response. But Yolanda, that is also the same physiological response of fright. And that's why a lot of people immediately jump to the conclusion that these are negative. Yeah, Dr. Pat's experienced this too, because I've been on Paranormal Investigation. I feel cold chills and it goes, it's a demon. It's like, would you stop it with the demons?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a spirit coming through. Now, let's see if we can get whoever it is to step forward. I'm getting a female energy coming through. She's connected to you through your mother's side of the family. She could be a grandmother or a mother, because all grandmothers are mothers, many mothers are grandmothers. And this woman was having a lot of trouble talking prior to passing. So I'm getting this burning, dry sensation in my throat. And I'm also getting, I feel like she was having a hard time breathing. Now, I realize a lot of people have a hard time breathing prior to passing, but this was a person that was not able to, she couldn't use the full volume of her lungs. And what was going on, I'm getting this blinking sensation. Now, the blinking sensation is an indication to me that she was having difficulty with mental focus and clarity prior to passing. So this lady, her passing was not a quick event. She was having difficulty communicating prior to her passing, and she was having a lot of difficulty in her lungs. And the poor thing was also having a lot of trouble using the restroom by herself. Does any of this, do you recognize any of this?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what is her relationship to you? Don't give me her name, just the relationship.
My mom.
Oh, okay. Okay. So hold on. And you said this was Christmas Eve, right?
It was Christmas Eve. Yeah.
It was Christmas Eve.
On Christmas Eve.
She had passed on Christmas Eve, and then you had this experience on Christmas Eve. So,
right, my mom.
Your mom came to visit you on Christmas Eve. Absolutely, it was her. Okay, and she keeps giving me that. What's that old song? 16 Candles. 16. I'm singing it off key. 16 Candles. Yeah. Is there something about the number 16 which would make sense to you in any way, like the 16th of any month or 16, or it could just be, go ahead.
My mom's birthday was June 16th.
June 16th. Yeah.
There you go. There's the validation from your mother that was her. Dr. Pat?
Here's the thing I love about this. And, for some reason, and this is no mistake about Earth Day, this is the time to be grounded in a sense of connection. Now, that's almost like an oxymoron statement. But what I want to say to you about that, Yolanda, this is a time to just know that you are being surrounded with an energy, a life force energy. And that life force energy doesn't always have to be what we see in the horror movies. It's a grounded energy. And if you ever get in a place where you don't know what to do with it, have a conversation and say, hey, tell me what you're looking for. What do you want? You will find an answer. It may not be what you think, and certainly you may not be able to accommodate, but you would be surprised. And if you don't want that energy around you, if it gets to the point where the energy, you notice I'm calling it energy as opposed to spirits, right? Just for common sense purposes, energy. If you don't want it around you, just shake it away. And what I mean by shake it away is just ask it to leave. But sometimes what happens with us is we're not grounded enough in our own sense of self. And we get caught between, shall I stay or shall I go? And, here's what I've learned, and I'll let you go. What you put your attention on will expand. If you want to develop a relationship, then develop that relationship. But this idea that dark or cold or frostbite, or I mean,
Mhm.
that's from the movies.
Yep.
That's like a movie.
But
Right?
you know what else I'd like to say too? That early that morning, I had gotten up early, and I thought my daughter got up and went to the bathroom, but it wasn't her because I asked her. I said, "Did you get up and go to the bathroom?" She goes, "No, why?" I said, "I heard the doorknob turn, and then it was let go." I felt that the presence was already there, and they wanted to let me know if they were there. They're going to be with us that day. That's how I interpreted that. And then the cold feeling that I had, to me, it confirmed. But I didn't know if it was my mother, my father, or my husband. So,
Well, the
but
thing
I did
is,
thank them.
Yolanda, your mother is the one that stepped forward tonight, and spirits are never alone. They always show up in groups. And I highly recommend that you
Oh,
read my book, The Afterlife
Yeah.
Frequency, because it will explain this phenomenon in great
Yep.
detail. And it is through understanding and research that fear begins to melt away.
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
thank you so much for
Thank you.
calling
That's
and
awesome.
sharing that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say to everybody, we are taking your calls, 1-800-930-2819. William, who do we have next?
Let's see. Next up, we have Mary from Staten Island.
All right. Hey, Mary, you're live on the Psychic and the Doc.
Hello, Mary.
Yeah, Mary.
Mary.
hello, hello.
Yeah,
Hey, Mary
hey.
from Staten Island. Hello. Welcome to the show.
I'm on. How are you? Thank you for taking
Good.
my call.
Yeah, how can we help you today?
Well, every picture I've been taking lately has an orb in it. I look closer, and it looks like a picture, a face of my husband. I was wondering if that's. I hope.
Well,
I'd like to hear from him.
You're wondering if it's your husband and you're seeing your husband. Stop wondering.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, is that possible to see a face in an orb, or am I just
Oh my
seeing
gosh.
things? I mean,
Yeah.
Absolutely. As we were talking with the last caller,
Yeah.
and I was explaining about my theory, the electromagnetic soul. Spirits are pure electromagnetic energy. Now, what do cameras record? Light. Guess what? Light is the only form of electromagnetic energy visible to the human eye. So spirit photography has been around actually since the 19th century. So yeah, it's absolutely possible to photograph your husband, and I'm getting the sense that he's coming through right now, and could be because there's a male energy connected to you who's on your generational level, which would be like a spouse. And I'm getting this massive pain in my chest. I mean, I feel like I'm getting this impact sensation. Now, an impact sensation of this magnitude could mean that he may have had some massive, I'm almost getting like the word thrombosis, but I'm also getting this pain in my chest, my sternum, and in the area of his heart. But this could also be an indicator that his passing was abrupt and unexpected. Does any of that make sense to you?
it wasn't unexpected, but the areas you're talking about are.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, no. As I was explaining, when spirits communicate with me, different causes of death may have a similar physical sensation. That's what I was saying. An impact like that could mean an abrupt, unexpected passing, but I'm feeling it in the sternum and in the chest, so it could be complications there as well. When I do one-on-one readings at the beginning of the session, I spend about 10, 12 minutes going through an orientation. I say that, things like that. Anyway, so we got him here, and hold on. I'm feeling hands clasping. Now, obviously, the two of you loved each other very much, but I'm getting this clasped hands, and you must have been in close proximity to him based on what I'm getting. And I don't know if you were holding his hand when he passed, but you were holding his hand close to the time that he passed. This is so very strong. Does that resonate with you?
It was like the hospice nurse was there. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I started going down the stairs, and something just told me to go back up. It was like an automatic. I don't know why. I just went back up, and that's when he passed. He didn't want me to be there, I guess.
Yeah, I have to go ahead, Mark. You
No,
finish.
I'm just go ahead, Dr. Pat.
I have to tell you, there are more stories that I hear like that than you can imagine. And let me give you my perspective on why that happens. You know, outside of Mark's realm, my perspective of it, especially from a psychological or a psycho-spiritual perspective, is that when our loved ones are there and we are there, they don't feel like they can go. They don't feel like they can go. And
it was the strangest feeling.
It is the strangest feeling. And I can't tell you how many stories are recorded. We just lost somebody over the holidays. The same story. You know, you're in the room all day long, and the nurse said, "Oh, why don't you go get some rest?" And you walk out of the room, and before you're even home, they're calling you.
Right.
Now, why would that be? You see,
I know.
right? I mean, if you
24 hours with him. I mean, this is the first time I ever left.
Exactly. But here's what I want to say to you. You allowed his spirit to be free. See, if you think about them wanting to please us, even as they were in life, you know, in the passing. And I don't know what your relationship was like, but if you were close, there's your energy, there's their energy, and there's no space for the natural energy to reveal itself. Some people go and some people stay.
I felt bad about that, you know, because I was like,
no, that's why I'm talking to you about it, because
I understand that. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we don't understand that while we are attached to them in this physical form, they are attached to us. And the minute that we leave and allow them the freedom to choose without guilt, right?
Okay.
So please, please, that.
Okay, but he's okay. He's okay.
Yeah, is there like an Ed, Ned, or Ted connected to you? I'm getting like an Ed type of name or sound.
Ed? No.
Ed
or Ned.
Friends, Ed.
Like Ed or Ned.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what did you say? Go ahead.
No. I mean, we've had friends named Ed, you know, but past. But
no. Don't hyperanalyze. Okay. What it is, it could be Ed, could be Ned, could be Ted. It could be a name, something like that, because there could be somebody else that's in spirit with him. And the other thing that he is telling me is, did you or someone close to you, could be a close family member or another female, did somebody just get a piercing? He's talking about a piercing.
Yeah, a tattoo.
A tattoo. Okay. All right, so this is an indication that he's around and aware of what's happening in your life. And the thing is, he didn't want you to see him die. And it's interesting because, you know, Dr. Pat, she approaches this differently because she's a behavioral psychologist, and she sees these type of things. And I hear from the spirits, you know, you loved your husband so much. And that's why I was getting the clasping, you know, that's the closest between the two of you. But he didn't want you to see him die, because he doesn't want that to be the last mental image that you have of him. So don't beat yourself up. When you said that you were on the stairs and, you know, you were directed away.
I was right there. It was like he pushed me upstairs. It was so strange. Like I went halfway down and then turned around. And that's the moment.
There you go. There you go.
So, yeah.
Okay. So look at
Yeah.
that as not as something to be guilty for, but instead
Okay.
as his gift to you.
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you for taking my call.
So I got to give you something else. If I don't do this, he's really going to be annoyed. All right, pearls, pearls, pearls. Pearls are the birthstone for the month of June. This could indicate births, deaths, anniversaries, or events, which could be connected to you. Okay, go ahead.
June 27th. So his birthday is June 27th.
And all right, all right.
Side,
All right, that's what I refer to as verifiable fact following a message. Dr. Pat sees me say this all the time. When a spirit gives us a message of an explanatory or advisory nature, in other words, his gift to you was for you not to see him die. That was his gift to you. That's the advice and explanation. And then when the spirit follows that up with an objectively verifiable fact, June, that's his birthday. The verifiable fact of his birthday is how he is letting you and I know that we have properly received and interpreted the message. So take that.
Thank you.
In the beautiful spirit that he's given to you, and listen to what Dr. Pat was telling you. You know, Dr. Pat and I are of Italian descent. We understand guilt, okay? Guilt is not a good companion. Guilt is an insufferable companion. All right, with that, I'll let you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you bet. Thank
God
you.
bless.
Hey, everybody, we're going to take a short break. Just so you know, we are taking your calls, 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819. Please give us a call. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, going to let you know how to find out more about Mark, how to get plugged in, and get an update about what's going on with, this fabulous psychic lawyer. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Don't you miss him?
I do. And
Don't you miss him?
His Super Bowl Super Bowl halftime show had to be one of the all-time greats. I mean, and it was raining. It started raining when he was playing Purple Rain, and he just did it. Yeah. Prince was without a doubt a musical genius. Extraordinary personality. And it was funny. A lot of people don't realize he was a Jehovah's Witness. And as part of being a Jehovah's Witness, you have to go door to door preaching. And he said that there was these people, he was talking in an interview, that they invited him in the house and they wanted to hear everything he said. And then they said, "You're Prince, aren't you? We thought you were. We just wanted to hear to talk to you." So I always got a big kick out. So you never know who that person knocking on the door is.
You never know. But let's talk about Prince for a minute. I did a show not too long ago about Stevie Nicks. I mean, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And Stevie Nicks had an incredible relationship with Prince. And when you think about these folks that sung his songs that he didn't actually record. Now, he did sing them.
Right.
But what do you think probably the most successful of Prince songs? Okay, this is a trivial quiz for you. The most successful Prince song never sung by Prince.
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
It's one of my favorites.
What is it?
Okay. This is a song that came out when I was at one of the lowest points in my life. And I played this dang thing over and over and over again, ad nausea. Nothing compares to you.
No way.
No way.
That
he also did Stand Back. It's a great song. He also did Stevie Nicks Stand Back. I mean, there was a couple, right, that we all know about. Shaka Khan, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, there's just so much talent. And then he did sing Nothing Compares to You. But I got to tell you, nothing compares to Sinead O'Connor singing that song. I mean, that is like, who can do that song and not cry?
Yeah.
Ay. So much codependence. Let's go. It really is a song about codependence. I'm just saying, it really is. We'll have to do a show on the psychological. How about we do a show on the psychological interpretation of some of our music.
Oh my God, I
Right?
love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
And you got to let me do Gangster Paradise, though. Let's go to
Okay.
the phone, William, if we could. Oh, all right. I love it. Lisa. Uh-oh, you're live on the Psychic and the Doc. Is that an uh-oh?
Hey, Lisa. All right. We hear you, Lisa. How you
we-
doing?
Okay.
Come on.
Thank
She's
you.
like,
Took a minute.
uh-oh, I'm there. Yes, how can we help you today?
You hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in addition to, there's so much that's just resonating with me. There's Prince and there's Catholic guilt and Earth Day. So this is pretty much the best show ever.
Sort of the
really
cosmic
quick about
trifecta.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Lisa.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Lisa.
So regarding Earth Day, especially, I live in the Cleveland area now, but my childhood home was in the North Woods of Michigan on a tiny lake across the road from miles and miles of national forest. So childhood was like, give a hoot, don't pollute, and Smokey the Bear, and getting really upset when I saw litter. So yeah, this show definitely has a special theme. But as far as what I'd like to possibly hear from Mark, two things. What might my loved ones think of my career choice? And who am I sensing? I think of it as my kitchen friend. Who am I sensing with me in the kitchen, sort of behind me?
All right.
Okay, hold on, Lisa.
Mark's got a hit.
Yeah, when approaching spirit communication, be careful about going into it with a garden list of what you want, okay? It's better to approach it open, because a lot of times you do the I want, inadvertently you create an angst which blocks the communication. Okay, so let's see. Did you ever have a cat, like maybe a gray cat, look like possibly a gray tabby that had passed?
Yes. Her name was Kita.
That's the entity in your kitchen. I was opening up and I was expecting, okay, let's get a grandmother or an uncle or someone, and like, meow, comes right through.
Oh,
and
very interesting. That is so cute.
Well,
okay.
animals have souls. Okay. Human arrogance says, oh no, we only have souls. No, everything that is alive has an electromagnetic soul. And any being capable of the emotion of love is capable of spirit communication. And so this kitty is around, and I get that this was a very affectionate cat, is the sense that I'm getting. Also, was this cat kind of weird? Like it would eat anything? I'm also getting this cat like chewing on an orange peel. Normally cats don't like citrus, but that could also, that may indicate something else. Oranges, that may mean you love them, hate them, or there could be an issue with you involving potassium. Does any of that make sense?
I've been eating a lot of mandarin oranges lately, so
there we go. That's it.
And they are in the kitchen.
Okay. No, that's it. And they're in the kitchen. See, remember in the last caller when I said verifiable fact following the message?
Yeah.
The orange is the verifiable fact following the message. This is your kitty who's around you. Okay. Now, it's good that you're eating the oranges, and I'm not prescribing or diagnosing, but the next time you go for blood work, have them make sure that they check your electrolytes, your mineral balance, because there may be something with potassium, maybe too low, you may be too high. Okay. But because the kitty's giving me the oranges and I'm getting the potassium. So, and what's really nice is to know that our four-legged friends and our feathered friends, that we are still connected to them through the incredible energy that we call love.
Absolutely.
All right. Dr. Pat, got anything?
I'm interested about the kitchen thing. Can we get back to that? That was the second part of your question. And you started to talk about something in the kitchen. What was that, Lisa?
Well, my first question, the first part of the question was what my loved ones might have to share with me.
Right.
my loved ones in spirit, if they have
Right.
any messages.
But
any
what's going on
two-legged,
in your kitchen?
Loved ones.
What's,
What's-
see, I'm interested in what's going on in your
in it?
kitchen. Yeah, something's going
I'm
on in your
sorry. Okay,
kitchen.
Well, I've been having the feeling of something sort of behind me or someone. I was actually assuming it might be my departed grandmother, but apparently it's Kita, my kitty, which is fine. And that might explain why when I said, hey, could you at least, move to the side because the behind me thing is a little annoying. She didn't listen. So
Mhm.
that message didn't get through to Kita, but that's okay. Yeah.
What did you used to do with her in the kitchen though?
With her in the kitchen, she was just the type of cat that was very affectionate and always sort of swirling around one's ankles, and you'd have to kind of maybe, okay, I'm cooking right now. Could you please, go somewhere else?
Mhm. And
That's
that's
the
the
only
reason.
thing I can think of.
No, but that is very important reason, because see that what that reminds me of is when you have that kind of love, right? When you have that kind of love connection, that's why I'm asking you about the kitchen. There's, I don't have enough time in the show, but I just want to say this to you. If there's a little place in your heart that's sore, like you have a little sore place, like it hurts, there's a little place in your heart that hurts from something. I don't know what it is. Could be anything. Could be job, could be the table tennis match I lost last night and shouldn't have lost. It doesn't matter what it is. Call on her to comfort you.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
You
lovely.
don't have
Thank
to
you.
tell us what it is,
Yes.
but call on her as if
Okay.
she was in her skin. Call on her to comfort you. Mark, do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Wow, Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you. God, you just
Thank you.
reminded
Have a
me
great
of
night.
my God, she
Thank
just
you, Lisa.
reminded me of Felicia, this little cat that adopted me. What a great show, Mark. Thank you so much for this, big day today.
We always have a good time.
Yeah.
And for our audience, please tune in every week. Tell your friends about us, because Dr. Pat and I, we've known each other for years, and we started doing this show, gosh, it gets over a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And, we're blown away about the worldwide popularity of it,
Mhm.
because we're here to help. We may not have all the answers, but we can at least present the evidence and information from the other side, and for the benefit of Dr. Pat's wisdom and experience as a world-renowned behavioral psychologist, that may help you find your own answers.
Yeah. And, let's just wrap it up with a little Earth Day. Once upon a time, I used to do a talk called 50 Shades of Green. And for people that were really hard climate change people, they couldn't stand this talk. Because what I would say is, look, it doesn't matter where you start, but do one thing differently today to honor and love Mother Earth. Right, Mark?
Absolutely. And the next time you want to, you think, if you drop that piece of plastic or garbage on the ground, it won't matter. It does. You can hold on to it for another 5 minutes and put it in the garbage can. If we all do something, that helps. So thank you every night for tuning in. We'll be back next week on the Psychic and the Doc. And you can find out more about me at my website, afterlifefrequency.com. And it will also have when we're going to be on the air and some of our exciting guests coming up.
I love it. And I'm still mad at you, International Table Tennis Association, for going to plastic ping pong balls.
Oh,
what are you, crazy? Thank you all for tuning in.
Good night, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the Psychic and the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.